Hi, and welcome to the 8th episode of the Sienna training series. I'm Kate Doubleday, and I'll be introducing a bit about dynamics data in Sienna Data. So Sienna is an open source ecosystem for power system modeling, simulation, and optimization with three main applications. Sienna Data, which is focused on efficiently inputting and formatting energy systems data. Sienna Ops, which enables system scheduling simulations by formulating and solving optimization problems like unit commitment and economic dispatch problems. And Sienna Dyn, which enables system transient analysis, including small signal stability and full system dynamic simulations, suitable for representing electromagnetic transients. All three applications were developed to support modeling large shares of inverter-based resources like wind and solar. And today we're focusing on Sienna Data, but with the goal to enable the data that you would need to work with in Sienna Dyn. So we'll be focusing on the format for dynamic data in PowerSystems.jl, which is foundational to both Sienna Data and Sienna Dyn, and which could then be used in dynamic simulations within PowerSimulationDynamics.jl. So the reason we have a separate tutorial for dynamics data is that there are two important differences between dynamic data and what we call static data in Sienna. And those two differences are that it requires two data layers to enable a dynamic simulation: a foundational layer of static data plus an additional layer of data that describes the dynamic response of components in the system. And the second difference is that the data defines the model. So those are the two ideas that we're going to talk about in this video, starting with the first one, which is the difference between this idea of static and dynamic data. So in Sienna, we define static as referring to steady state data or models. And so often we're using static as short for quasi-static, where you might have a time varying simulation like a production cost model, but at each point within your model, you're assuming a steady state equilibrium point. So this type of data describes both power flow data for a single time point simulation, as well as these quasi-static time series data and models. So for example, static data still includes the input data for a 5 or 15 minute or 1 hour resolution production cost model. That's differentiated from dynamic data. So we refer to dynamic data as the data required to enable transient simulations using differential equations. So common examples include small signal stability analysis to verify the power system will maintain stability in the few seconds following an unexpected fault or generator trip. In order to enable a dynamic simulation in Sienna, we have these two data layers. So the first layer is the static layer. That includes information about where things are located and connected within the system. So it includes basic information about the buses, branches, generators, loads, voltage sources, and basic system metadata. This is all the data you would need to run a power flow or planning case. The second layer is dynamic data that specifically defines the dynamic response for branches, generators, loads, and this differentiation is similar to how PSSE has a raw file that contains the foundational data and a DYR file that contains the additional parameters for dynamic simulations. So this is all additional data attached to static components within the system. So you might recall in one of our earlier videos, we talked about Sienna's approach to data. And we talked about this separation between data and equations. So the introduction shared that Sienna Data is really focused on the specific data models that describe different components within the system, and that those can be differentiated from equations that describe behavior. So in Sienna Ops, we have these templates for behavior that don't depend on the data at all. But by combining those two different aspects, you can develop a complete model in memory and solve it. So this is a key distinction where dynamic data breaks this rule. So in this case, we don't have a clear distinction between data and the equations that describe the differential equations that describe dynamic response. In this case, the data defines the model that you would use. So these are very specific and they're not generic. And so you'll pick a specific data model that matches the data that you have and defines that dynamic behavior. So let's look at an example. One component that you commonly might want to model is the dynamic response of a generator. So typically a dynamic model includes many different submodels. That includes a model for the electrical machine, the stator dynamics. That includes a different model for the rotor dynamics, a model for the prime mover and turbine governor, as well as models for the excitation circuit, including AVR, automatic voltage regulator, and PSS, power system stabilizer. So each of these different subsystems can have very specific models. So an example would be, let's say you want to model the AVR using a model from the IEEE Type 1 AC1A excitation system, ESAC1A model, that has a set of very specific equations within that model. That includes specific time constant parameters, specific gain parameters, and specific voltage parameters. And this might be a very different set of parameters compared to a different AVR model. So Sienna Data has defined specific types for these different models because they need such different data. And so the data type that you select based on the parameters that you have available determines the mathematical model and these specific equations which will be used. So this is where the data defines the model. So if you're going to develop a model for an entire dynamic generator, that dynamic generator will be a component in PowerSystems.jl in Sienna Data that is composed of a machine model, shaft model, AVR, PSS, and turbine governor model. And there are multiple different options in Sienna for the specific model you could pick for each of these. So for example, there are 21 different AVR models right now and 7 different PSS models. And each has their own parameters and data that describe the differential equations for that model. So when you define a dynamic generator, you'll pick specific types for these components. So for example, for the AVR, you could pick the example we were just looking at, ESAC1A, and each of those would need to be defined with their specific parameters. Once you have defined a dynamic generator with each of these specific models for the subsystems, you've completed the dynamic data layer. And this is the second layer that you can then attach to a static component. So for example, if you were using this to model the dynamic response of a standard thermal generator, you could attach this second layer to that component. This thermal standard component will still hold the static data about that generator, such as what bus it's connected to, its rating, and so on. Everything that isn't involved with its dynamic response. So the other common application for dynamic data is to model a dynamic inverter. And this is very similar. It has many different subsystems, including a converter, inner and outer control loop, DC source, frequency estimator, and filter. And similarly, this will be composed of specific models you'll need to choose for each of these subsystems. And you'll see in a similar nested way, the outer control loop in turn is composed of specific models for both the active power control and reactive power control. So that concludes our introduction to dynamic data and the two things we wanted to emphasize, which are that dynamic data differs from static data in that you need these two different layers. It's an additional layer on top of the static layer. And in contrast with other data in Sienna Data, the data defines the model. So if you're interested in more information, see the Adding Data for Dynamic Simulations tutorial in the PowerSystems.jl documentation. We'll also add a link in the video description for how to parse data from .raw and .dyr files. So you'll be able to contrast there how to add dynamics data manually in the tutorial, but then also how to quickly parse data automatically from PSSE files. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video.